Hi, my name is Jesse Walter, and this is another UDK tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to discuss implementing materials on our BSP brushes. As you can see, we've already white boxed out our level from a previous tutorial. Also, we have finished the texturing of our terrain. And now we're ready to apply our materials to these brushes. Now we still need to add lighting to our level. If I zoom in here, we'll see that we can't really see any of these BSPs that are inside this tower. So I'm going to turn the lit mode off by clicking on this icon up here to go to unlit mode. Now we can see our BSPs inside of the tunnel there. So what are the materials? Materials basically give us the look of our walls, our ceilings, and our floors. So we'll use, I think for this tower, I want to use like a concrete look. Also probably for the road above. I may have to make some materials, but we'll see. We're going to try to use all of the built-in materials in UDK. So let's open our content browser. Let's find a material. I'm going to make sure we fully loaded our packages. Yeah, it looks like we fully loaded. And then also select the materials checkbox under object type. This is the object type, materials. And as we can see, we still have a lot of materials to play with and to kind of go through. So to make this easier, I'm going to type in concrete and see what we get. Okay, so here are some materials. And if we double click the material, it'll open up the material editor. And here we can kind of see how that material looks as it is currently defined and built. We can apply this since we have a big old kind of a cylinder type object. Just want to check this out as a cylinder. That looks pretty nice. What else do we have? We're going to close this editor out, open up this one. That looks good too, but notice the normal maps are not connected on this one, so we don't see any of the. It's kind of a smooth surface without that normal map. The normal map gives the material a bump. We can kind of modify this on the fly here if, yeah, it looks like they've kind of connected things differently here. So I'm going to just connect this texture coordinate to the UVs, plug in, and then drag this and plug that into normal, and we'll see this bump appear. Be a little more apparent on the block. And we kind of tone that down a little bit. Let's break this link, right click to break the link, and grab this desaturated version. Plug that into diffused. And it gives us a much softer look while maintaining a good texture in there. So that's something we could play with as well. In this case, I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to say no. I just kind of wanted to share that. I think we'll use this concrete here first. Now there are a couple ways to apply this material. I'm going to shrink the content browser. First, we need to select our surface that we want to apply it to. Now if we select our brush, I'm going to select this surface here. We could, with that brush selected or that surface selected, resize this. We can right click and apply, what is apply material. Oh, sorry. With the material selected, then we right click on the surface and apply material, and we'll see the same name there as what we've selected. If we select a different one, right click, we'll see that name changed. So let's take a look at how that's going to look on that surface. Let's apply the concrete base. And if we unclick that surface, we'll see the concrete. And that wasn't the concrete I wanted. Let's try this again. There we go. I don't know. Which one do we like better? I'm going to select another surface. Select the other concrete. Apply material. This has got a much more rugged, I think, because we're going to be putting water in here, I do kind of want this more dilapidated look to the concrete. So some of the things we can do is readjust the scaling of the material on the surface. And to do that, we will right click on the surface, click Surface Properties, or F5, and select this little drop down box. I think 0.5, we'll change it by half. Click Apply. So we have a much, I felt that that texture was a little bit too big. Let me zoom in here. I think that's going to give us a nice look. Now we're not seeing all the normal maps because we're not in lit mode, and we need to rebuild that when we're ready. We can also adjust the alignment. As we can see here, we can set it to fit. But I think default was good. And apply. Alright. Close that out. Now, what about the rest of the surfaces? Let's apply this to everything. So we're going to right click on the surface, and then we're going to, from this menu here, we're going to select surfaces, and let's do, for now, we're just going to grab everything here. We're going to do matching groups, and apply. Oops, that didn't work here. Hold on. Select surfaces. Let's do all adjacent. All adjacents. There we go. And then apply. And so now we see we got some stretching happening and so forth. This is why we're going to go back into our surfaces and adjust accordingly. So these walls are looking too consistent and kind of boring, really. So what I want to do is do another search for materials. Do a search for wall, and we've got a lot more textures to play with here. So I did some testing out of some of these materials. I find that we're going to keep this bottom as concrete, and then we're going to make this section here this walls with brick. I think it'll fit in nicely with the rest of the motif here. So we've got this material selected, right click on the plane, and let's do the surfaces, select all adjacent walls. Okay, and then if we right click again and apply this brick material, we now have something I think that will blend in real nice. Click off of that. I think that kind of works, and also kind of breaks up that consistent pattern there. It makes it a little more interesting. We zoom in here, we can see that it's got a little bit of a brick look to it. So what you want to do is find the materials you want to use for your brushes, and go through your level and apply all your materials. It's just that simple. If we want to select all adjacent walls, If we want to kind of change the size of that texture or the scaling, kind of play around with that a little bit. And that's a 2. See how that looks. That might fit a little bit better. Also has a different kind of color to it. I did a Control Z to undo so I can reselect everything that I had previously selected. Try that scaling. That's pretty big. Let's go back to, yeah, that's way horrible. 1/2, 4/1. Kind of liking that myself. So just go through your level and apply all the materials, just that simple. Be sure to save. Now notice this brush, even though I selected all the adjacent walls, it only selected the walls by Control click that were adjacent to the original wall I had selected. So if I wanted to select the entire brush instead and apply that material, right click and select surfaces, select matching brush, and that's going to find just the walls associated with that brush. Right click and apply, and there we go. Now you may have to change the alignment, or excuse me, the scaling. Let's go back. I'm going to undo. Control Z, Control Z. There we go. Surface properties. And apply. And there, now we can see that all matches properly now. So I'm going to go through my level and start applying the type of brushes, or the type of materials I want to apply to my brushes. And you should do the same. Okay, so I've got a lot of my textures already applied. I decided to change a few things up here with the selection of my materials. Now I'm just going to review what I did with this last little bit of road and cave here. I'll show you a few things. So I'm going to apply the surface for the road, and let's pull that up. That was a dirt material. I believe that's the material I used. And apply. And we're going to adjust. You can see there's a huge difference between this material and that material. There we go. That looks about right. Alright, and then these sides here. These guys. So if you click on the brush, you'll see in your surface properties, if you still have it up, it'll tell you also what material was used. And in this case, the LT_ buildings. So let's pull that up. That was a bunker wall. Bunker wall with the stripe. So we've got that selected. And we're just going to apply that here. And I'm going to show you how to fix all this. Actually, let's do a... Oh, do that. I'm just trying to matching brush. Shift B. Alright. So we've got to fix this. Let's take a look at the properties. Surface properties and apply. I believe apply. Still does not look right. So as we see, the texture here on the material needs to be adjusted. We're going to select the scaling, change the scaling to 0.5. I think it's just a lot closer to what we had over here. And now, I'm going to move this decoration up to here. And how do we align that? Well, you can align it by panning the UVs. See, as I click the V, it's going to bring it down. You can also click on custom and type in a negative. I'm going by one increment to move it back up. These are larger increments for your convenience. And let's see what exactly we need for that pattern. Alright, so we want this little edge here, kind of like a wave at the top, and the rest to be concrete. That looks like we're getting close. Now, I want to check that bottom. Seems it was a little different, I think. I might have had this scaling a little differently. No, that's not it. And here we go. That looks pretty close. Let's check this other side. We want to do the same for this other side. There we go. And we're going to apply the same effect on this side. And hold Shift B to select that whole brush. And then since I've already got this selected, material-wise, I just need to right-click. Oops, grab the face. Shift B and apply. And this one is stretched. We need to fix that. Apply default. Apply simple. Now that one's already there on that side. And so is that one. Very good. Now, what about that top? I'm just going to bump that over, the surface over, so this way. There we go. That one's good. Now what about this guy? Now we did something a little different on this center medium here. So just this top piece. Sorry about that. Alright, we want to get this metal strip on the bottom. Top, it's just going to be plain. Just plain old concrete. Shift B. And we're going to apply. And then default alignment. And there we go. Let's take care of that top first. See, it's picking up the same kind of pattern attribute that we set for the other side railings. How much of that? All right, so what I'm looking at is these little divot looking pieces here, kind of like a little zipper. And we'll line that up to the bottom. There we go. And do the same on this side. There we go. And we're using a different material for the face here. But we're using the same on the sides. Let's take care of these sides first. Shift B for the brush. Click apply. Apply default. Apply. Now, we want, see how I've got that pattern set up here? So just on the side, select that surface. It looks like that's almost it. Just trying to keep some consistency here. Looks good. Now what about that top surface? Re-angle my camera here so I can select it. And that's the Trims Organic one. So I'm going to go into the search Trims. This is the material. Grab that surface. Apply. And we're getting some. Sometimes the textures get a little blurry when you're working. Probably a good time to save. Clears that up. I don't know why, but it's something I've learned. I'll mess with UDK. Now, I think those match. We're going to go with that. And then what about the face here? Oh yeah, we're going to apply the dirt material. Oops, sorry. Search for dirt. Helps if I type right. There it is. And now I think this is supposed to be a 1. Yep. What about the side here? Alright, so we used the bunker stripe. We'll pull that back up. going to hold Control to select the surface below it. And you want to make sure you grab everything. Grab that. Also, go around to the other side. Hold Control, click, Control, click. I think we're good. Right click on the surface, apply material, and apply, and apply. Alright, so we got some scaling differences. Alright, that looks right. That looks right. And then, what did I use? A concrete, another type of concrete here. We're looking for concrete base 2. We're going to apply that here on that surface. And I also want to use it for these broken components here. There we go. Okay, now what we have left is our tunnel. I just used a basic brick. We can kind of break things up by adding static meshes later to our scene. Once again, this is just a quick level in UDK using the BSP brushes to kind of get a feel for the kind of environment we want. Ideally, you'll want to replace a lot of these BSP brushes with static meshes. So let's see if we can find that brick. I need to fully load. Walls. Could be a wall or a floor. Let's go over here and double check. Rock wall, and it's number 5. There it is. So I'm going to grab this brush, Shift B, Control to grab the next brush, Shift B, Control to grab the next brush, Shift B, and we actually need to grab the brush on the inside, Control, Shift B, and now right click. Alright, you're going to see already stuff does not line up right. This does not look like this over here. So we need to go in and align our surfaces. I'll hold Control Z to go back to selecting everything. And let's see. What scale? Still does not look right. I think planar is what I used. Yep. I just want to take a look at the scale of these bricks. Make sure they're the same. Looks pretty close to me. What about the inside? Well, when this is all lit up and we've got our lighting rendered, it's going to be dark in here. So to kind of cover that up, I'm using this texture here, this rock material. And this is the cave. So let's grab cave material. We're going to have to adjust the scaling on here as well. I believe that's what I used. And we see the materials getting a little blurry there, so we're going to save. And that clears that up. And we also have, I'm going to speed my mouse up by clicking on the camera movement. And we have these bricks here for the stairs. And these are, let's see here, surface properties, block floor. I got another set of stairs on the side that I need to take care of. Really? There we go. Alright, so grab, slow this back down again. Shift B to grab that. Control. And I've got these little filler blocks in. Shift B. Control. Shift B. Shift B. Control. Shift B. And let's apply. readjust my camera here. Shift D, apply. Shift D, Control. Having some issues grabbing that. Oh, lost my material. Sometimes when you're hitting the hotkeys, they'll jump to that default material. There we go. I lost it again. Jeez, about time. All right, let's take a look at it. Let's see. All right, already we can see some of this does not line up right. The pattern we got going this way, and here we got it going up and down. So let's grab this. Select adjacent coplanars. Select. Click. Shift C. Shift C. There we go. And we can rotate this by 90 degrees, and that's going to look a lot better. What about this side? Yep, we need to do this side also. So Shift C grabs the coplanes, Control, Shift C, Control, Shift C, Control, Shift C. And turn these 90 degrees. Good to go. So, going to do the same thing with these stairs. Okay, and those stairs are done. I think we're good to go. Nope, we're not. We got to check everything. That was the concrete one. Pull that up. What's going on here? All right, I've got that applied. And now I'm going to do a build. I'll be right back. Okay, I've finished building my geometry, lightings, and path nodes. If we switch this to lit mode, we'll see a huge difference. It looks a lot prettier. So in the next video, we will cover lights.